Just the 5 matches this week, 3 of the top 6 in action, including Arsenal and Newcastle. We asked for 2 legends, but Thierry Henry and Shola Amiobi couldn't make it. To the Emirates, where unbeaten Arsenal faced winless Sheffield United. Bukayo Saka had scored or assisted in 6 straight games. The last Englishman to do so in 7 for Arsenal was Ian Wright.
There won't be no assisting there.
Pure goals. Your commentator, Steve Wilson.
Eddie, congratulations, your first Premier League hat-trick. That must be a great feeling.
Yeah, amazing. Obviously, it's not been easy. Last month I lost my auntie, so I just want to dedicate these 3 goals to her. Her family were here watching today, so I want a really special moment. I want to dedicate it to her.
The first half to the second half was chalk and cheese. Although Arsenal had a lot of the ball first half, I think Wes had 1 save to make. But second half, the goals were really poor, what we conceded. But it's probably a reflection of how I felt the game was. They outfought us as well as outplayed us in the second half. We know we're down to bare bones and we're missing some big personalities and some physicality. But the boys were stepping in on the pitch. The boys who were getting the opportunity, need to grasp it.
We had a really emotional week. We're travelling, playing 2 very, very tough away games. And today was a very different context. We had to be prepared for that, and we had to be patient. But as well, we had to do certain things better than in the first half, to attack them better, to create more problems, be more of a threat, and play the game where we want it.
I don't know if you know this, there's only 2 Arsenal players who've ever scored 4 goals in a Premier League game. Thierry Henry, Andre Arshavin. It could have been Henry, Arshavin and Nketiah.
I know. And to be fair, my first instinct was to grab the ball and go. But obviously Fabio won it, and he's expecting a little one soon. So it's about being team player. He's found me on other occasions in the game, so it was his time to get a chance, and he took it away. So I'm happy.
Final score, because in the first half you really frustrated Arsenal. What's your assessment of the whole match?
Yeah, I think it is a tale of 2 halves. As organised and as disciplined as we were, and we limited Wes to 1 save, I think we only had in the first half, but the goal was really poor, what we conceded. And that theme continued in the second half, all really poor goals on our part, really poor. But I think one of the biggest differences, first half to second, as Arsenal up there, tempo and aggression, they outfought us as well, and that was the big difference. So we understand the physicality of this league. And we understand we're missing a lot of our big players, physical players. But we have to find a way around that, and we were in the first half. Second half, I thought, as they stepped up, like I said, they also won those battles as well.
You've come up against 6 of the top 9 in your opening 10 matches. You've got 1 point from that, and I think probably one of the most ridiculous things I've heard is a manager that's got their team promoted back under considerable pressure off the field, being asked to win a match against Arsenal to save your future. I've heard some bizarre things when there's a 5-point gap between you and top 17. How do you even cope with that, with all you've done for this team, Paul?
Yeah, listen, I know how hard I work, I know how hard the staff work and the players, and internally we're very good at ignoring the noise. But you can't deny it's there. We understand that. Whether there's anything in it or not, who knows? I'm not the right person to be asking. But as you say, we've overcome a lot. We had all this noise, the external noise last season, whether it was about administration, the transfer embargoes, the club being sold, players being sold, whatever it was. We could put that to one side and focus on our jobs, and we have to do that again. I think more of an issue for us, me and the players and the staff, we just focus on the internal things, and more of an issue for us is the injuries at the minute, the squad, and that's one of the things that's costing us. But we have to find a way around that to pick up the points in these games. Now, as you say, we've played a lot of the top half, majority of the top half, and a trip to Emirates is not really going to define our season. However, the games coming up against the teams in the bottom half will.
A lot of departures, a lot of key injuries, and now you have Wolves, Bournemouth and Burnley, exactly the games you've been waiting for to show what this team can do. What's your message to the owners and the message to your fans about what you're seeing in this team? Great performance against Manchester United. Commentators all saying a better team on the day in that match. What your message about giving you the chance to prove that on the games that will define your season, getting them here?
Yeah, listen, I'm not a person who goes around seeking assurances and things. I'm a person who gets on with the job, and that's all I do. Keep doing the job to the best of my ability. In terms of the fans, they know that they've got a group of staff and a group of players who are going to give everything, and we'll continue to do that. Big opportunities in these games coming up, and regardless of who we've got available, not available, it's irrelevant. We have to try and get the points in those games, and these are the ones that we've been waiting for. These are the ones that we have to work hard for. And as I say, as frustrated I am with some bits of the game in the second half today, next week becomes more important now.
And what have you seen from the progress this season of your team in those performances against Manchester City and Manchester United that you can get the points in those games?
Well, you've seen it. We've been so close to so many games. However, one of our problems has been, obviously, we prepare 6 weeks with a group, and then we lose 2 of our key players of the week just before the season starts. That's a problem. Then as we start recruiting, we actually start losing players to injury. So we've never been able to build. The same, you mentioned the performance last week. We wanted to build on that. We lose one of our most important players in Ollie McBurney. So, yeah, we think we're getting started. We think we're getting somewhere, and then we start again on a Monday morning. Hopefully, everyone's come through today, and at least we know who we've got and what we're working with for this game against Wolves.
Thank you very much. You wowed us all with a title race last season, but looking back with hindsight, maybe you could have rotated your squad more as you were bringing through your ideas, and 4 changes with great results today. How proud are you of the team?
Yes, very happy. Obviously, to win consistently is the most difficult thing, performing at the highest level as well. And we decided to make some changes because the boys played so many minutes, and there are a few as well knocking on the door, and they deserve to play, and they did really well.
Really cruel for Jesus to be sat in the stands, but he got to his feet to applaud Eddie Nketiah. Hasn't scored since August, but my goodness, a hat-trick, and then kind enough to hand the penalty to Vieira. Arsene Wenger brought him to the club. How much have you loved having him with you?
Yeah, I was very happy for him. As you said, obviously he had a few games that he hasn't scored, and that's the most important thing for him, and he's been a bit struggling with that. Today I think he performed really well, took his goals and his chances really, really well, so really happy for him.
Edgar, in the programme notes, said ahead of this game that you always change the ideas, as does Declan. He said the preparation for this was preparing for it like it was a Champions League match. Can you elaborate on that a bit more?
Just coming back from Seville, I know it's tricky. Emotionally, it was a really intense match because it was a lot at stake. Before you have played City and Chelsea, and then you have to play at home. And I wanted to make sure on Thursday that they knew the game that we had to play, and the difficulty of it, and the approach that was like any other game or better. And I think they've done it.
How hard is it to make such a dramatic change against a team like Sheffield United, who put on really big and strong displays against Manchester United, against Manchester City? It's a big commitment. Was it a gamble?
A gamble to make changes? No, because I have full trust in my players, and to do that as well, they have to feel that, and you have to give them opportunities. And today was a really important game after the draw at Stamford Bridge, and the best way to give them accountability and let them be themselves is to play them.
Tomiyasu as well, an incredible week for him in front of and behind the goal.
Really happy for him. His 50th appearance, I think it is, and he scored a goal. And you see how much they love him, how the players were trying to push into the corner to celebrate with the fans. So a lot of positives today.
Unbeaten still, back to second in the league, closing that gap back to 2 points. And Arsene Wenger, who built this stadium, just saying how proud he is to see you also being able to get big signings in, spend the money so wisely on Declan. What does that mean to you?
Well, we know, you know how much I love him, how much it means for me. I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for him, because he brought me to the club and always trusted me. So it's a joy and privilege to have him around, and you still sense a lot about him here every time you're here.
Thank you so much.
Quite surprised you didn't score 4 goals. Right.
I did score 4 goals, but it's before football was invented.
I know.
You know, so,
At least you played in the Premier League. I actually don't exist. It was a first Premier League hat-trick for Arsenal, Freddie and Nketiah.
Yeah.
And a reward perhaps for his perseverance.
I think so, yeah. And especially coming into a team where, there's a lot of rotation, and you're not playing with the major first-team guys, and you want to be playing with the players. It's going to make you the chances. But what he done today was brilliant. It was fantastic today. I like when he stays in and around there. And he looked very sharp today. You know what I mean? The defenders were very poor, but at the same time, he was very sharp. And it's really interesting because this defender does something I've never seen before. He's actually when this ball comes into Eddie Nketiah, by the time he actually pushes him out of his eyesight. Now he can't see him at all. So, and then the touch is brilliant, then that's a fantastic finish. I do like when he's in and around it, but look at this. The touch back across him, and then it's the composure. And this is what I think that Eddie's got. He's got that all day long in the box stuff. This was a good one because he's very aggressive. I didn't think Luke Thomas was strong enough to deal with how Eddie, the mood Eddie was in today. When you look at his movement here and how aggressive and quick it is, it's like bam, bam. And he's in, Luke's all over the place, and then, you know, he just smashes into the net. The last one, what I like about the last one, this is about the confidence. Strike. Yeah, this is about the confidence. Again, defending was very, very poor. Instead of getting tight to him, he's dropped off him. And what is good about this is that he's not even thought twice. 25 yards out, and that's where the confidence is coming in. And that's what you want him to take into every single game, to take those chances and get that kind of opportunity and smash it like that.
Sweet as.
Delighted for him.
Great goal.
He's got a few starts this season, hasn't he? That's not something that applied to either of you two, but it must be difficult in a way being... I suppose he's a squad player.
Yeah.
But every club needs those sort of players, don't they, that can come in and do a job like that.
When you look at it, you think to yourself, like Arsenal now, they're challenging for trying to win the league. You know, they're in the Champions League. You know, there was a time where we was worried that he weren't going to sign. In the end, he did sign. But you're thinking, where else would he go to get the opportunity, what he's got now? I know you've got Jesus in front of him. People are talking about another striker. But at the same time, he's in there, coming in and doing a job that we need him to do. And he's done it. He done it last seson, and he's doing it again this season.
He's a good player to come in there, isn't he? He's unlikely ever to be the main man.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. When you're in a football club that's challenging for honours, you need players of quality to come in. Yeah. And he's that, and he'll always be a threat.
Yeah, tough day for Sheffield United, wasn't it? A proper battering. I think it's the worst start after 10 games ever in a Premier League season, and the previous worst start, Sheffield United 2 years ago.
They're shipping goals for fun, aren't they? 29 in 10. You've got no chance when you're conceding that many. I do have a bit of sympathy for Paul Heckingbottom because. What chance have you got when you're selling two of your best players before ball is kicked? All of a sudden, straight away, you're under pressure.
Bergen and Dye.
Yeah.
Berger and Undai, yeah.
Okay.
Well done. Congratulations. What an amazing afternoon for you. So, between the first goal, that touch you give that takes the defender away before you score the goal, the second goal with that strike finish, and the third goal with the long distance shot, what was your favourite?
Probably the third, to be fair. Yeah, I think to top it off with the hat-trick was really nice, and it was a good strike from outside the box.
And didn't fancy the fourth, because I saw you giving the ball to him.
I was on it. I was going to take it, but Fabio, it was a special moment for him. I think he's expecting a baby, and he won the penalty, so he asked if he could take it. I said, of course, it's a team sport. I've got 3, so yeah.
Well, Sheffield United, they sat deep, especially on the first half. But not only you managed to find goals, you managed to find 3 goals. So what was important in the way you move, in the way you read the game, to find those spaces and find the 3 goals? Yeah, just stay patient. In games like this, where it's tight and it's low, it's about staying patient, staying in the right areas, arriving in the right areas. And my teammates found me today, and I was able to finish my chances. And emotionally, how did it feel for you to score the hat-trick?
Yeah, amazing. It's my first Premier League hat-trick here with the fans, the supporters, my family, my friends, and to do it with my teammates is an amazing feeling. So really happy with the 3 goals and the win.
And another nice moment when you got the captain's armband. How was it?
Dream come true. A special moment for me, obviously, being a childhood fan to captain the squad and to lead the team. Obviously, B was first-time captain as well, which is really good. So now we're here. We came from Halo and we know what it means to the club. So it's really proud and special for us to be able to wear the armband.
You got a chance in the team after Gabriel Jesus' injury, and he's been doing really well. But how much pressure do you put on yourself in a positive way, of course, to score when you get these chances?
I try not to put too much pressure. I know I'm capable of scoring goals. It's just about being patient, getting in the right areas and working every day. I'm training hard even when I'm playing, not playing, scoring, not scoring, always putting on the work on the training pitch to make sure I'm sharp. And moments like this are good rewards for it.
Well done, then, Eddie. Thank you.
Very much. Cheers.
Really emotional week. We're traveling, playing 2 very, very tough away games. And today was a very different context. We had to be prepared for that. They're fighting for their lives. They've been really organised. They've been really good against the big teams and then really struggled the big teams to beat them. And we had to get prepared for that. And we had to be patient, but as well we had to do certain things better than the first, especially between 10 and 25 minutes in the first half, to attack them better, to create more problems, be more of a threat, and play the game where we want it.
That's one of the challenges that you face in the Premier League. And it is a challenge, you know, our players have to face up to it. We have to try and enjoy this challenge, you know. It's we've worked hard to get here. We've worked hard, we've overcome a lot, and now we've got to overcome some real tough obstacles. But I don't think our season, I've said it before, will be defined away at the Emirates. You know, we have to make sure that we pick up points, and we're in a different, in all honesty, we're in a different league in terms of who we're competing against to who Arsenal are competing against. So that's what we've got to focus on and make sure that we're prepared and ready.
Arsenal's biggest win of the season was a day of first for Eddie Nketiah, first Premier League hat-trick for him. What did you make of it, especially that first one, which he referenced, the first touch, so important?
It was a good ball coming into the box here, but look at the position he takes up, just on the back of the defender. Great touch there. Does the defender make it a little bit easy for him, but you can't take anything away from the touch. He takes it past the defender. Once he does that, you know it's a goal. And now when I look at him and I look at his movement, I think of Jermaine Defoe, I think of Ian Wright in the penalty box, sharp, bright, always looking to get on the end of the ball when it's in the box, and took his goal superbly well there.
The second one, he said it was a nervy moment when he saw the purple box come up. Was it a difficult finish?
Les never had to deal with the purple box, did you, Les?
No, we never had that in my time.
No, do you know what? This looks like an easy finish, but it's a difficult finish because it's easy to get under this and put it over. The defender's hanging off him, but he keeps his composure, sticks it into the back of what is almost an empty net. But he must be having the time of his life playing with the players around him, the creativity he's got. I mean, 3 goals at home for your home team. It's amazing, and then this one to cap the afternoon off is just... This is the way to cap off a hat-trick, isn't it? He just picks it on the edge of the air and already got 2. Why not have a go? Ends up in the top corner.
And is that not his first goal outside the box?
Definitely. I said it was a day of first for him.
And, you know, when I look at him, I think such a good little striker. I just wonder whether he's going to get the opportunity to really fulfil his potential at Arsenal. You know, time and time again, I think now's his time, and they go out and they buy someone else. And I just wonder, you know, they're already talking about someone like Ivan Toney. Will he really get the opportunity to have that run of games he needs in the side to really prove himself? I know every time he comes in, he scores goals, but I'm not sure.
No Jesus today, and he gets to start, and he replies with that kind of performance. I wonder if the celebration, you know, when he was pointing down, was a little bit of a statement, as much as the performance was.
Well, I mean, what Les said there about him leading the line for Arsenal, obviously it's difficult because they want to progress constantly, they want to buy better players all the time, but he can't do any more than what he's done this afternoon. When he gets those opportunities, he just needs to keep scoring goals, and he looks like he's enjoying his football.
And that little point that he's doing there just tells everyone I belong here.
Yeah.
I belong here. You know, I mean, this is my playground. This is where I belong.
How difficult is it to do that? How much pressure are you under? Because obviously your main job is to score those goals, and then you get a go, there's pressure, Jesus is out. He was applauding him and enjoying that as much as the rest of the team was. But what kind of pressure, just from a striker's point of view, are you under coming into the team at this point?
Listen, Arsenal are challenging for the Premier League. So no matter where you are in that football team, you're under pressure. Because, you know, if you go in there, what you need to do is you need to do your job. And his job is to score goals, and he couldn't have done any better today. Whether that he gets the opportunity to do that consistently, and he will need to do that consistently to be able to keep that place. But no matter where you're playing in any of those top 6 teams, you need to be able to do your job.
I think one thing is that Eddie Nketiah is the best out-and-out striker at the club. Jesus has probably got more to his game. He'll drop in, he'll link things up, but Nketiah, he's a goal scorer. That's all he wants to do, and did it very, very well this afternoon.
Would you say that Eddie Nketiah is the one who could lead the line for Arsenal as the main number 9? I
would like him to, I really would. That's what academies are there for. That's why you bring that youth through. We can see Saka, he's done it when he's drifting off that right wing. He obviously captained the team today. So that pathway is there. And like I say, he can't do any more than what he's done today. Maybe he needs to fill out a little bit more physicality-wise, but that will come.
And that's the conversation we was having earlier on. I think with the way that teams play now with one striker up front, that striker has to be able to hold the ball up and bring people into the game. You know, you look at Nketiah's game, and he's probably one that plays on the shoulder, wants to run in behind. At times, when you go and play in the Champions League and those big competitions, you need that centre forward who's going to bring other people into the game. And I'm not sure if they can develop his game into that. But he's not quite that at the moment.
I often we get this case a lot, don't we, where kids come through and they maybe don't get the time at the top league in the world. But then I look over London, I look at Chelsea, I look at Tammy Abraham, and they would love to have him now an out-and-out striker. So it just shows sometimes giving someone from the ranks time is the best opportunity. Harry Kane is the prime example.
Great afternoon for Arsenal, not so for Sheffield United, with 29 goals conceded. It's the unwanted record of the worst concession at this point of the season. 29 after 10 games. Crisis mode for sure. Yeah,
for sure. But, you know, listen, I think the gulf's getting even bigger when you come out from the Championship. I witnessed Sheffield United at close quarters last year, you know, at my time at QPR, and they were a good side. Unfortunately, they've not been able to build on what they had in the Championship as well as they wanted to, and they knew it was going to be a tough season. And as Higginbotham said, he says, you know, there's many leagues within the Premier League. And what they need to do is try and win that league. I know it's looking very difficult at the moment because they're sitting at the bottom of the table with only 1 point. But, as he said, their season is not going to be defined playing against an Arsenal or a Chelsea or a Man City. It's going to be the teams in and around them where they need to pick points up.
In a results-driven business, how much pressure is the manager under?
I don't really think it falls on the manager's shoulders. He's had a lack of investment. They sold his two best players to give him the bullet at this point. I think it would be naive. Who do you bring in? Listen, his players are still playing for him, and like he says, I thought it was a really good interview actually by Paul Heckingbottom. He didn't get sucked in, obviously he'd been beaten 5-0, but one thing you need to do as a newly promoted Premier League squad is let results slide. That doesn't matter at the Emirates. Obviously it's embarrassing on the afternoon, it's not what you set out to do, but like he said, his season won't be defined by Emirates away.
Thank you for your question. Yeah, really privileged, really grateful for the people that has given me the chance to play here. When I was a player, it was Arsene that gave me the chance to play for this incredible football club, and then obviously the board that gave me the opportunity to be as a manager. So very privileged. Thank you.
From NBC.
Mikel Arteta from Spain.
And we'll go to Mark from The Sun.
I'm going to be prepared. Just asking about Eddie, obviously. Yeah. I mean, every time he comes into the team, there's always like a sort of a bit of pressure on him to sort of justify his place in the team. I mean, today he's obviously given the perfect response to everyone who says he's not quite top level.
Well, for me, he is top level. He's played, I think he's started 9 out of the 10 Premier League games. So that tells you how much we trust him, how much I trust him, and the importance that he has in the team. Really happy for him, an academy player, to experience today in the Premier League a hat-trick. He needs to enjoy the moment. He fully deserves it, and hopefully there are many more to come.
Mikel, how, in your opinion, how difficult is it for a team to get promoted from the Championship into this division and compete, in a league that's regarded as the best in the world? Is it the toughest in terms of all those leagues in Europe to compete in?
Well, in my personal opinion, it is the best and the most competitive league in the world. So it is really difficult for us. So I can imagine for a team that is coming from the Championship how difficult it is. But big credit to Sheffield. I watch all the games that they played against the big teams and how many problems they have created to them, and the small margins of how they have lost the games. So wish them the best.
Jonathan?
Mikel, you had some great moments of quality in the game. You also showed patience, but Paul Heckingbottom was in here saying that he felt Arsenal also won the physical battles as well, and that's not something that's always been associated with Arsenal. Does that please you as much as anything, that on top of the quality you had at age?
That shows the mentality and the determination that the team wants, and how much they have to respect every game and every ball, because the influence that every ball has in the journey that you have to have throughout a game. And they took the game in a really serious way, because I gave them on Thursday a big alert, because the context and the difference in the game that we have to play today with the last Man City, Chelsea and Seville game, and I'm really happy they approach it.
Mikel,
The assist from Declan Rice to break the game open was obviously a fantastic pass. That's 2 assists and 1 goal in the past 3 games from him. Obviously, he's got fantastic defensive qualities, but we start to see what he can do in the final third and be more limitless there as well recently.
Yeah, for sure. And this is the next step and things that we can evolve and help him to improve.
And just, you said that on Thursday you gave the players a bit of a job. Is that because maybe in the past these kind of games have been the kind of games where they haven't been the type of sort of convincing wins that they should have been for a team like Arsenal?
No, because obviously they come from the national team. So we beat City, we come from the national team, we have to go to Stamford Bridge, and we did what we did in Stamford Bridge, then you have to go to Seville. And that's a really, really stressful week with as well what they were experiencing in the last few weeks as well. So then you can have the tendency to, now, okay, we're going to play at home and this, and that was the worst thing that we could have done to compete against this team today.
Mikel, Martin Odegaard didn't play today. Was that the luxury of the scoreline and being comfortable in the game in the second half, or was that always something that...
No, obviously we went through all the minutes that everybody has played in the last 3 weeks, and some of them they played an enormous amount of minutes, and Martin has been as well carrying a little thing that wasn't very comfortable in the games. So we have players with enormous quality, and we have to trust them, and we believe that it was the right day to do so.
Did you give the player a license today to kind of cross to the right, to go to the left-hand side? Sorry, he seemed to be kind of popping up a lot more than he would do usually.
Well, yeah, there was certain behaviors of the opponent that could allow certain spaces for him to explode in relation to how the holding midfielders were behaving with our attacking midfielders, and he did read that very good in certain moments. The timing sometimes was better than other times, but it was another way as well to attack certain spaces that we believe were valuable today.
Listen. What level do you think Eddie Nketiah could reach to, and how would you compare him to your other main striker, Gabriel Jesus?
I don't like comparing. I think they are very different. And Eddie brings different qualities to the team. He's got an eye for goal. When you look at the stats in his last 10 years, what he's done is remarkable. And he needs minutes, opportunities, and service. And if he gets that, Eddie's going to score goals. That's for sure.
But how good can he be then?
I don't know how good is he now. You know, he's already playing for Arsenal. He started 9 games in the Premier League. He's already really, really good. He can be better. Yes, and he's got the best thing that he's got already is the talent that he's got, but especially his mentality is incredible. And when he has that mentality with that talent, obviously he's going to get much better.
Okay, well, the last couple now. Firstly, gentlemen.
Tom made a 15 appearance today.
Yeah.
It's his passport photograph. But looking at the action by other players, he was quite popular goal scorer today.
Yeah, I love him. Everybody loves him. He's one of the most popular in the dressing room. You can see the reaction of his teammates towards him because they want him there in the front to enjoy, because he's always very reserved and always doing things for the rest of the boys. And yeah, fantastic player for the team.
Brilliant performance from Eddie Nketiah. He couldn't have asked for much more when you step into the shoes of Gabriel Jesus.
Absolutely. 3 goals, well deserved. He's a goal scorer. He's a player that every time he plays, he wants to score goals, and he's shown that really, really well this afternoon.
Yeah, and the first goal of the 3, how much of it was down to that first touch?
Everything. I think that even with the ball from Declan, I think it takes a slight deflection that we might not see here, but his adjustment and to put the ball exactly in the space where the defender stepped out of, and then to calmly compose himself and slot it, is a brilliant finish. Great play from Arsenal.
Too easy maybe for Declan Rice's ball to get through?
Yeah, you could say that, but I think the defender tries to block it. Like I said, it does take a slight deflection, and I think that's what kills the defender, because the defender looks like he's going to anticipate to read it, but then doesn't stick his leg out, and after he does that, Nketiah sees the space and takes the ball in that area.
And with each goal, the finishing gets even better. What about this half volley, Kola?
Fantastic finish there. He's the first to react on the ball. He knows that the goalkeeper is fighting there, try to clear the ball, but Nketiah is there, ready to get the ball and shoot.
Literally the only place he could have put it as well. The rest of the goal was blocked out, and he made sure he hit it high and hard, and it's perfect finish.
Sheffield United not helping themselves there, though.
Definitely not helping themselves. I think they're in a whole lot of trouble, to be honest. If they continue conceding goals and upon goals, I can't see a way out of it for them.
Yeah. The next goal is quite a pivotal one. Not only does it complete his first Premier League hat-trick for Eddie Nketiah, It's his first goal from outside the penalty area, Colo.
Yeah, I think he's a player that is a fox in the box, I would call him.
Yeah.
He remind me of your dad, Sean, because he's a guy that he will always want to score goals in the box. He's already there. But here again, you can see the quality there. He turned, his first thing is to look where the goalkeeper is. He see there's no pressure on him. He shoot the ball. Great goal. I really love goals that are from strikers.
Actually, you say he looks up. I don't think he does.
Do you know what he does look at? He looks where the defender is. He uses the defender as a shield, and he comes back into the near post, which helps him with the strike. It's a beautiful strike.
Do you think if both Nketiah or Jesus played down the middle?
Yeah, I think he would. Yes, just based on that, he's more of a natural finisher. Jesus, I think, is an all-round player. He'll drift out to the right, the left, the centre. Whereas Nketiah wants to stay in between that 2 18-yard lines right in front of the goal, where he knows he can make the goals go in and give an important result to, obviously, Arsenal.
OK, so 3-0 up. There were a couple of penalty appeals for Arsenal. One of them wasn't given. This was on Eddie Nketiah. At the time, Sean, you thought this should have been given?
I still think it should be given. I think the defender doesn't play the ball at all, and it's his leg. They might say he initiated contact, but that's his running technique.
Yeah.
So his right foot's only coming back into technique, and I think it touches the back of his heel. He can't help that.
Colo?
I think it's a penalty because Nketiah touched the ball before the defender, and then the defender kick his feet. And for me, it's a penalty defending.
You do, OK. But Arsenal did get one in the end, of course. Ollie Norwood fouling Fabio Vieira, substitute, coming off the bench. Did they come to the right decision here, the officials?
Yes, again, I think this one they actually got right. It took him a bit to get there, but you can clearly see there he doesn't touch the ball.
Colin?
Absolutely foul, definitely. Well done to the referee there.
Yeah. So that was given, and of course, clearly impact made by two substitutes, because later we'll see another substitute getting on the score sheet. But that was given. It's in the box. And the referee, after consulting his pitchside monitor, gave the penalty. But Nketiah not taking it. But it was Vieira.
I can understand it. He's got three already, as he said in his interview, but I know some strikers, not naming them, one sitting in the green room, that said he wouldn't pass the ball up, but he would still take it.
Yeah, that's Glenn Murray, by the way. But your dad would never. he would never turn down the chance of getting a fourth goal.
Dad wouldn't, neither would Alan Shearer.
Yeah.
I don't think either of them two would.
Yeah, and I talked about the impact from the substitutes bench because Tomiyasu also got on the score sheet for goal number 5. Not a bad finish, this, from him.
Arsenal scoring goal on set pieces, which is really important. They can create chances in the game, but at the same time, they can score goals on set pieces, which is really, really important. And again, great reaction here. You can see the mentality of Arsenal players. They want to be the first to win every second ball, every first and second ball, and that's great from Tomiyasu there.
And just to pick up on something that we heard from our commentary team, that's good for the squad. The fact that players can come off the bench and also make a telling impact. Would you agree with that?
It's massively important because it's sometimes in games that team that are starting, for whatever reason, cannot break down certain aspects of a team. And for subs to come on and be able to change that, it also opens up space to those talented players that are already on there. And that's what you saw with Arsenal. Everybody was hungry to get on a score sheet up until that 90-plus minute, and you need that.
And Colo, talk about the perfect response after what we saw from Tottenham 24 hours earlier.
Yeah, it's a great result for Arsenal, and I'm not surprised. Arsenal is a team that they want to win every single game they come out, they play. They want to score goals, they want to win. And I think after playing the Champions League and winning that game is perfect for them. They have to keep winning games.
Yeah.
Cricket ground back in 1855. Football's been played here since 1862. Bramall Lane in Sheffield. Derek Ray here on the commentary box, joined as always by former Arsenal and England fullback Lee Dixon. And it's all about action from the Premier League in this case. It's Sheffield United up against Arsenal.
Yeah, thanks, Derek. My advice to the players out there is try and get off to a quick start, be accountable for your own performance, but above all, go out and enjoy yourself. Should be a great game.
And this is the Arsenal starting 11. Thomas Partey starts with Granit Xhaka in the centre of the pitch. And getting the vote of confidence in attack today, Alexandre Lacazette. George Baldock. The defenders will certainly have done... Is it going to be? Is it going to be? Well, he's given a corner, the referee. And still dangerous. And it crossed the touchline, so a throw in here. Egan. Basham in possession. Looks promising, this. What can he do from here? It should be! There it is! The opening goal of this match, and what a start they've made!
Well, here's the replay, and you can see why the manager's furious. Just really poor play, offering up possession far too easily in the danger zone. And at this level, if you're going to do that, you'll get punished. Not good enough.
The opening goal of the game then.
Goal for the host. Number 17, David McGoldrick.
Martin Ødegaard. Xhaka with it. Well, you can sense the threat is there. Bad pass. Martin Ødegaard. Well, he successfully got past him. Will he finish?